What an anchor for the soul amidst waves of affliction. What a light amidst the darkness of painful circumstances, to know that God is light and in him there is no darkness. So the psalmist continues and he says, God is holy, enthroned in the praises of Israel. But then look at what else the psalmist does. Looks back to history. Just recalls the history of God's faithfulness in verses 4 through 5. Yahweh had a track record of intervening on behalf of his trusting people. Just look at the emphasis in the pronouns. Our fathers, and then it's followed by they over and over again. They trusted in you. They cried out to you. They trusted in you. So what is the psalmist doing? Amidst this affliction, affirming something. I'm taking it off the table that God is, guilty in any way here. But you are holy, and I'm reflecting upon a history of faithfulness towards those who have trusted in you. That's how God deals with his trusting people. His trusting people will always be delivered. Now, sometimes it'll look like being delivered out of a trial. Jeremiah being taken out of a dungeon. Daniel being taken out of a lion's den. Peter coming out of the prison. It could look like Job's restoration, coming out of a trial. Sometimes God will deliver his people through a trial. And through a trial, maybe even into his heavenly kingdom. But it's still deliverance. Think about the Apostle Paul. He had been delivered so many times from death. But yet when he knew death was coming and he knew that his life was being poured out as a drink offering, 2 Timothy chapter 4, he spoke of his forthcoming martyrdom in this way. And the Lord will deliver me from every evil work and preserve me for his heavenly kingdom. To him be glory forever and ever. Amen. So there's always deliverance for God's people. It may take different shapes or forms. It may be out of a trial temporally. It may be through it temporally and into eternity. But either way, all of his people are ultimately delivered. And it's the latter that we see essentially here in Psalm 22. As we see the Messiah speaking through David as we go through this psalm. But we're reminded here as to what we ought to have as a reflex when we go through times of trial and affliction. In the midst of affliction, in the midst of a fiery furnace, every saint would do well to recall God's holiness and God's faithfulness in history. Two things, holiness and history.